This is Lesson 6 on page 79, Building Advanced Transitions and Animations. Graphics, tables, and charts can help you convey your message and keep your presentation engaging. Sometimes you need more energy or emphasis at certain points in your presentation. Using animations and transitions in PowerPoint 2019 can add energy and excitement to a presentation. In this lesson, you will use the morph transition and customize animations. So topic A on page 80 is using the morph transition. When we create a presentation, we tend to focus our attention on the slides. Transitions between slides can make your presentation more dynamic. The morph transition, which is more powerful than any other ever included with the software, will change your thoughts on what is possible to create with PowerPoint. The morph transition seamlessly changes the attributes of an object, position, rotation, size, color, etc., as you progress from slide to slide. You need a minimum of 2 slides to use the morph transition. You arrange the objects on the base slide at the desired starting point and then duplicate the slide. Then you make changes on the second slide to some or all of the object's attributes. Finally, apply the morph transition to the second slide. When you view the presentation, the changes to the object will appear to transition seamlessly from the initial state to the final state. Position, size, and color changes can be a really useful way to add dynamic emphasis on the key points in your content. You can use the morph transition with shapes, icons, pictures, 3D models, and even smart art, word art, tables, and charts. So here I have an example presentation open about morphing transitions, and all I have right now is my title slide, and on slide number 2 I have a basic shape of a heart, and then on slide 3 I have the basic shape of a smiley face in yellow. Now, if I were to play this slideshow out from the beginning, again, I just have my title slide, click through, I come to my heart, it's just still on the slide, and I have no transitions applied, so when I click to the third slide, again, the smiley face is just there on the slide. There's no transition, nothing happening, no movement. Now, with the morph transition, I can morph this heart into this smiley face. So it's like a very clean morphing transition. And to do this, you need at least 2 slides for your morph transition. I would go to that second slide that I'm morphing into, select my image, go to my transitions tab, and here is my morph transition. So I can apply that, but there's another step that's important that we need to be aware of, and that's naming our objects in our slides. So if I were to go to slide number 2 and select my heart, go to my Format Contextual tab, I need to open my selection pane in my Arrange group. So on your selection pane, it will show you all the objects, whether it be shape, pictures, text box, anything, whatever's on your slide will appear in your selection pane. So when you're morphing 2 objects together between slides, you need to name them the same thing. So you can see that this shape is named Heart 1. Now, in order to signify that you're using these things to morph into each other, you need to name them the same thing, but they also have to start with 2 exclamation points. And to rename your objects, you just click into it and you can edit the text here. So I'm going to rename this as, again, you start with 2 exclamation points, and I'll just name it Heart and press enter. So that's renamed. Nothing happens here. It's just a name in your selection pane. But when I go to my smiley face, my selection pane stays open. It tells me I have an object smiley face 1 here. I need to rename this to the same thing. So exclamation point, exclamation point, and heart. Press enter. Now I'm going to play my slideshow out from the beginning again. Slideshow from beginning. Get my title slide. Again, nothing's happening here. I'm just going to click through and my heart appears on the screen. Now, when I click here to transition, look how it morphs into the smiley face now. It's just not a stagnant slide that either just the graphics appear, or even a regular transition where it like swipes to the side the whole slide, or curtains or something like this. This allows you to actually morph your objects into one another, excuse me. So it gives it a very cool effect. And this is a new transition effect in PowerPoint 2019. So let's try that again from the beginning with or actually let's add another slide and add that to the morph transition as well. So we'll do blank. I'll go ahead and let's see. What about if we add a picture this time? The only graphic I have saved on this particular computer is my Charlie Brown, so we'll just see how that works out. I'm just kind of winging this right now. All right, make him a little larger. Let's see if we can, let me take my guides off. Let me see if I can remove this background so it looks a little better. Mark areas to keep. All right, that's good enough for now. Now again, I'm just kind of winging this. I don't know how this morph transition will look coming into the smiley face into Charlie Brown, but we'll try it out. Okay, so the same way we did from the heart to the smiley face, now we're going to do from the smiley face to Charlie Brown. And since we use the exclamation heart title for our objects, we're going to name that same thing for Charlie Brown here, which originally is picture 2. So we'll do exclamation, and heart. And we also have to still, sorry, apply that morph transition to Charlie Brown as well. So we'll go up to our transitions tab and we'll morph that. It gives us a little preview. Now let's see how that plays out from the beginning of our slideshow. Our title slide, then we get our heart. Click through, it morphs into the smiley face. Click through again. Not a great morph, but it did transition into that. All right, I don't really care for that transition. Let's try adding another shape here. Let's see, how about a smiley face into a sun? Click and drag to draw that on my screen. Let's go ahead and we'll make this orange accent 2. We'll add that morph transition and rename this to the exclamations and heart. And let's play that out to see how it morphs. Heart to smiley, smiley to sun. All right, so that looked a little better than the Charlie Brown. So again, it adds a little extra life into your presentation. A different way to transition between slides. So sometimes when you're working on slides that have the same information on each one, but you're focusing on a different part, you can just morph the objects or the text into the next slide instead of using, again, instead of using a transition that might slide the whole slide to the side, or sweep it from top to bottom, or fade in and fade out. So this is just another way to transition between those. All right, so your next video will be activity 6.1 on page 83.